Did you get a Quest free for Christmas? Would you like a more affordable way to have more experiences? We're going to have a look at the Quest Plus and the offerings of January 2024. Hey guys, welcome to my new ongoing series where we'll be looking monthly at the games that are available on the MetaQuest subscription service, Quest Plus. Quest Plus offers 2 games on the first of each month, which you get to keep as long as you continue your subscription, much like the PlayStation Plus's monthly games. If you stop paying, you lose access to them, but until you start up the subscription again, and all the games that you've previously redeemed, you can carry on playing. So with this series, I'll be giving you my thoughts, impressions and experiences I've personally had with the games, and show you some footage that I've recorded on the Quest 3's in-headset recording. So let's jump straight into the first game, Richie's Planks Experience. Now it might be a stretch to call this a game, it's more of what the title suggests, an experience, but it's a great experience. Just not a very long one. It took me just over 20 minutes to try all it had to offer, and this isn't including any of the paid DLC. Surprising thing for me, as I didn't realise this experience just didn't cater to one of my fears, the fear of heights, but it also catered to a second fear, which we'll get to in a bit. So you travel to different floors in an elevator. You have a grain floor, a sky brush floor, Hero Academy floor, and the plank floor. So the first stop's a skybrush, where you effectively fly with a jet in your hand and a colour picker. The jet works in a way that you'd expect Iron Man's repulsors to work. You fly around and you leave a trail. I didn't feel particularly creative, so I drew what most man-childs like myself would. I'm sure there's some people out there that absolutely love this feature and be amazing at it. I'm just not one of them. Your second stop is Hero Academy, which I found the most enjoyment out of the experience. You've got 3 different mini-games to play. Rocket Race, Firefight and Missile Defense. Rocket Race has you holding 2 jets in each hand and have you fly through hoops in the city, and you get awarded with a star rating out of 3 depending on the time it took you to complete the course. This is my favourite part of the experience. You really get the feel of the speed and the sense of the scale of the city while you're flying around it. Firefight has you flying from one place to another, and when you land you put the fire out. All you got to do is put your hands over your shoulders and it swaps out your jets for your fire extinguishers. And then once you've finished putting out that fire, you put your hands back over your shoulders again and your jets come back out. And you can do that with both hands. Now, this again is rated on a 3-star system and the time's a factor there. So you've got to put out as many fires as you can. I enjoyed it, but sometimes it was a bit finicky trying to swap the jets out for extinguishers. It left me a bit frustrated. The final minigame, which is Missile Defense, as you're flying around a city chasing after rockets, which the aim of the game is to get up close and personal and punch them out of the air. I had difficulty with this one. There was 1 or 2 rockets which I was definitely hitting them, but it wasn't affecting them. So I'm kind of thinking that's like a hitbox problem. The game stopped me whilst I was still flying towards a rocket in the air. So I'm presuming that you've got a time limit and you've got to destroy as many rockets as you can before the time ends, and depending on the amount that you destroy depends on how many stars you get out of 3. The final stop is Plank, the floor that the experience is all about. I've gotten used to Plank now, but when I first tried the experience I did shuffle my bum across the plank until I fell off, just to experience the falling part of it. It does still make my legs weak, even though I've done it a few times now, and it still gives me the feeling of falling for a second, and it can be a bit of a rush. There's some people though that made their experience even more immersive though. I've seen videos of people putting real planks on the floor and walking across it, and I've seen people do that and also add a fan blowing on them to simulate the wind from being so up high. And I'll be honest, that's not something I really want to experience given my fear of heights. In the elevator while you're on the plank floor, there's also buttons where you can add stuff to the end of the plank, things like a cake and a donut. You can't do much with them. You can go up to it, pick it up, stick it in your mouth and you'll simulate eating it, or you can throw donuts off the plank and try and hit cars. Don't do anything to the cars, but it's just something you can do. There's also an option called a spider cake. Now when you grab a slice, it causes spiders to spawn and crawl on the cake, and eventually a big one appears on the building and starts coming after you. Hence the second fear. People who have arachnophobia, just be aware of this. Now, inside the elevator, there's a panel which should be on your left. You can open it up and there's a button with a number 6 on it. It does say it's not for children, but if you press it 3 times, say 666, it will spawn spiders everywhere. So it's literally like a nightmare mode for the experience. There's one last feature I experienced, and I'm not sure if it's an all year round feature, but the elevator on the ground floor, it has a bell, and you can ring it and it teleports you to Santa's sleigh for a mini game where you ride the sleigh and throw presents in chimneys. And it's actually a great mini game, although I find that throwing underarm is the easier way, especially if you have limited room like me. Every time I try doing overarm, I kind of came out of my boundary. And I can see why Meta chose to include this title this January, as I'm pretty sure a lot of people have opened up their brand new shiny Quest 3s for Christmas. And this is a perfect title for an introduction into the immersiveness of VR. Now the second title is called Nock, Bow and Arrow Soccer. First of all, it's football, and second of all, it's like Rocket League. You're in the arena with a goal either side, you shoot your arrows at the ball to hit towards the opposing goal to score. I only played one match, and it was 1v1, and somehow I won. And I feel really bad for the other guy, as his accuracy was absolutely brilliant, but I just played a game of patience. The game's very fluid, and I was expecting to get some motion sickness as my VR legs haven't fully settled in yet, but I felt normal after it, which was really surprising. And you move around by putting your arms out in front of you, pulling the trigger so you're gripping, and then pull back, and that moves you, and you can do it from side to side. That's also how you jump, so you put your hands in the air, grip, and then pull down, and that will initiate the jump, and you can move in air as well. When you land, there's a bit of a sliding on ice effect. I couldn't work out how to stop myself, and I found that at times I wasn't going where I wanted to, but that is down to a skill issue for me. The game has a season pass, which you have the free option, or the paid season pass, which grants you a lot of extras. There's customized options in the game, like appearance, bow, and also a block. I'm not sure what that block's for, but you can customize it. And it also has quick matches and rank matches. So if rank matches are your thing and you like leaderboards, you can get yourself on the leaderboard that way. It's a great fun game. It looks lovely, controls brilliant. I'm just not that into sports, although I can imagine it'd be a great game for aim practice, because sometimes them shots on the balls, it can get it moving quite quick and you have to be accurate. Hopefully with this game being on the Quest Plus subscription, it will bring a lot of plays to it. As I was reading the reviews on the Quest store and the game was rather quiet, sometimes left people not finding a match. And to be fair though, I found a match pretty much instantly, but I can recommend this game to even people who like to purchase their games and they're not tied to a subscription, because it is a enjoyable experience, and I might end up having a couple of more matches on it. So that's all that we got for this month. I'll catch you in February for the next 2 games Meta gives us in Quest Plus, and also it'll be a bit more in a timely manner. I've left it until the middle of January for this video, and so for the next one I'm going to try and do it as close to the start of February as possible. So has this video left you wanting to subscribe to Quest Plus to get the games? Or do you feel that the games aren't worth the subscription price? Let me know down in the comments, and while you're there you could like the video and subscribe. I'll catch you next time. Bye!